you failed to make this person see reason while you guys were still together. What makes you think that now that you guys have separated, you will tell them what to do and they will do it? You will call the shots and tell them where to be at what time, how much time they must spend with the kids, how much they must pop, and they will do it just in J because you said it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. If you're joining in for the first time, welcome to the family. And if you're returning, I really appreciate the love and support that you are showing me. A big shout out to those who are signing up for membership. You guys are really contributing towards the growth of my channel, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Today we're going to be talking about 5 things to avoid when you are co-parenting. So somebody was saying that they want to avoid having kids out of wedlock because having kids out of wedlock means that they have to co-parent, means that they have to do the whole maintenance thing and the drama. So to avoid the drama, they're just going to make sure they get married first before they have kids. And my argument was that sometimes you do actually get married and have kids inside that lock, and then unfortunately that lock gets unlocked because life happens to the living, you know. So you might end up being a baby mama or a baby daddy, even though your intention was just to have kids in a marriage so that you can stay there, happy, healthy family. I believe everybody wants that for themselves, but not everybody is going to get that because life happens to the living, okay? So you just need to bear that in mind, to say that even if you're saying or you don't want to have kids out of wedlock, that lock might be broken. So before you find somebody to lock that lock with, to have kids inside that lock, you have to make sure you do your thorough background check. And even now, I mean, I still don't know all the details of how to do thorough background check for you to find somebody that you're gonna lock with and make sure the lock is never unlocked. But for today, we're not about that. I'm gonna be giving you 5 things to try and avoid so that you can make co-parenting better for yourself and for your kids. Okay, number 1, drama. Avoid drama. This one is a bit tricky. I had to put it number 1 because I know that when a relationship comes to an end or when a marriage comes to an end, already there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of disagreement, there's just a whole lot of stuff that's going on. So you guys are already fighting. You get what I'm saying? Because you're not getting along anymore. So having to now come back and co-parent with somebody that you're not even getting along with on a personal level because your relationship came to an end, your marriage is dissolved, it's tricky. So you're gonna want to prove a point to this person. You know, if you are one person who was abusing the relationship, once the relationship comes to an end, you're gonna prove to this person that you don't have control over me anymore, you don't get to abuse me anymore. So I will show you, you know, I will show you that you don't have control over me. I will tell you where to get off. You're actually not doing yourself a favor by telling somebody where to get off, because whether you like it or not, you are stuck with this person for the rest of your life because you have kids with this person, and you can actually avoid certain arguments with this person, especially when you know that if you sleep on it and you wake up tomorrow it won't matter anymore. Then I'm gonna avoid that. In the beginning of my co-parenting relationship with my ex, it was tricky because yeah, there was a lot of arguments, you know, with really throwing things at each other. And honestly speaking, when I still think about some of the things that this person used to accuse me of in the beginning, they still trigger me even today. But I have decided that, listen, I'm gonna do my best as a parent, because remember, when you now become co-parents, in the beginning, when you're only starting off, it's like a competition to say who is the better parent between the two. You want to prove to the other person that you can actually do this parenting thing without them. They also want to prove to you that they can actually be there for their kids without being there for you. So it really is already a conflict on its own, and people having to fight over the kids and whatnot really does not solve anything, because at the end of the day, after you guys have fought and you have, you know, taken each other wherever, you've done family meetings, you've gone to the police station, at the end of the day, you're still going to have to come together and co-parent. Okay, so it's pointless for you to just be arguing with somebody that you know that tomorrow that argument is not even going to serve anything, you know. Because I would like to believe that when we're married, we say a lot of mean things to one another, especially when we are not getting along. So I don't think there's anything worse that you can say to somebody that you were once married to, or somebody you were in a relationship with, that you have not said when you guys were still fighting and arguing. So he already knows my mind about his wacky co-parenting. I already know how he feels about my wacky co-parenting. So it's fine. Let's keep it moving. From time to time, you'll get the co-parent trying to question your parenting skills, and I need you to understand that that has absolutely nothing to do with you. I think a couple of weeks back, my son had said late that he needed some costume of some sort at school, and I had to, fortunately, because I can make clothes, I had to combine something and make a costume for him. But I had a very lengthy message from my ex, my kids need me, I'm not happy with this. In fact, add me back to the kids groups. Bro, who asked you to leave the group in the first place? So for me, instead of me having to say, well, I also have a problem with you parenting in this way and this way and that way, I cut all of that and I just took his number and I asked the teachers to add him to the school groups that he had exited for 2 years, and that was it. Because I'm not about that life of me having to defend myself to this person, because what point is there for me to prove? I know I'm doing my best for my kids and that is good enough. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. If you are out here trying to prove yourself as a parent to me, that's your baby. As for me, arguments that I'm not gonna yield anything, especially with somebody that I have argued with for the entire marital life, I'm not about to argue one more day. Okay, I'm not doing that. So number one, avoid arguments as much as you can. You can get your message across without having to argue or just prove to this person that you're a terrible parent. You can get your message across to say, okay, there's this thing which is a concern to me. Can you tell me what happened here? Can you fill me in with this one, without you having to want somebody to come and defend themselves or question their parenting? You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you don't necessarily have to argue all the time when you have to get your concerns across when it comes to the other parent doing certain things or not doing certain things, right? Number two, control freak. Avoid being a control freak. I know that a lot of parents, after they have separated, and this goes both ways, sometimes it's the mom who becomes a control freak. You control your ex in a sense that you will be telling him, no, I don't want you being with women around my kids and whatever. I don't want you bringing strangers around my kids. I don't want you taking my kids to your family. I don't want you, really, women sometimes become control freaks when it comes to co-parenting or the other parent having access to the kids. Unless if this person is a danger to the kids. If you really know that this person is dangerous, then there's no need for you to be micromanaging them when they take their kids, because trust and believe, this person is just as much a parent to these kids as you are. You don't have a leverage or an upper hand simply because you are the mother. And unfortunately, according to the law, you guys have equal rights when it comes to the kids. So you thinking that because you are the mother, you can tell him, I don't like your sister, so don't take my kids there. I don't like your girlfriend, so don't bring my kids around your girlfriends. I don't condone showing your kids to your partner or whatever. Avoid that as much as you can, just to protect your kids from being around environments that are going to damage them in the future. But unfortunately, when it comes to the other person, you don't really have much control over that, because it's not like they're exposing the kids to drugs or anything like that. So if they're not exposing the kids to anything which is dangerous in the physical eye, unfortunately you don't have a case. So to a certain degree, you have no control over what the other parent is doing with the kids. So avoid being a control freak. Sometimes the control freak becomes the guy. I don't like my kids going to your mother's house. I don't like my kids doing this. I don't like my kids. Literally, people become control freaks, and they'll be like, no, you don't spend a lot of time with the kids. You are never home. Literally, people feel like their kids is like a CCTV. Some people believe that when they have kids with you, you are stuck with their kids. So that means that they can control you, or you are not going to go anywhere in life. And when they now see you progressing, even when you have kids with them, it becomes a problem for them. So now they must find things where they want to control you and question your parenting, or how are you a mother when at this time you are busy gigging. Well, I have to gig because my kids must eat, because we are both responsible for these kids. And I'm not gonna let you, as somebody that I was in a relationship with, that I'm not in a relationship with anymore, tell me how to live my life. Okay, there is my life that I must live, and I must provide for myself as well, and there's a life that I'm living as a mother. So you're not gonna be controlling me and telling me how to live my life. Same applies to me. I'm not gonna be controlling you to say, well, you don't spend quality time with the kids. That's on you. If you don't want to spend quality time with your kids are gonna grow up and see you for a douchebag that you are, and unfortunately, it's too bad. Okay, so avoid being a control freak. If there's nothing you can do about it, then avoid it. Because guys, I always say this to say, listen, ma'am, you failed to make this person see reason while you guys were still together. What makes you think that now that you guys have separated, you will tell them what to do and they will do it? You will call the shots and tell them where to be at what time, how much time they must spend with the kids, how much they must pop, and they will do it just in G because you said it. What makes you think that they will take your word now when they failed to take your word when you guys were still together, when they failed to listen to you when you guys were still together? Now, nobody cares about anybody else's feeling. Nobody cares about being considerate about the other person. Let's just keep it moving. Don't tell me what to do. I won't tell you what to do. As long as the kid is safe, the kid is not at risk or in danger, just keep it moving, right? The third one that you need to avoid is your inconsistency, because a lot of people become very inconsistent, especially when there are new partners involved. Oh my goodness, you guys, new love. Is it your first time being in love? Yeah? The things that you do when you are in love, oh my gosh. You now think you want to show off to your previous partner now that you have a baby with, to say, listen, I don't beg you anymore. I'm going to address this issue based on what women usually do when they are in a new relationship and what men do when they're in a new relationship. Women, when they're in a new relationship, oh, Nkosi Yami, all of a sudden your baby daddy, you don't want your baby daddy to have access to the kids anymore. I don't want to confuse my kids. My kids know my partner now. Or you are even married. They have a new father now, so now you must just step back because I have a new family now. I don't want to confuse my kids. No, you need to explain to your kids there's something called blended families. Your kids need to still have access to their father and your husband if he's willing. Because you can't now cut your ex off because now you found a partner now, and then that relationship that this man had with his kids now must just come to an end. Because when you have found a father for them, you even change the surname. That's another story for another day, of you changing your surname and the kid's surname to your new husband's surname. It's another story for another day. But today we're going to be talking about how you need to not be inconsistent when it comes to you letting the other person have access to the kids simply because you found love. Now you don't see he ain't shit, nigga ain't shit now, because when you have found new love, excuse me, stop that. Now, on the men's side, when you guys find new love, you now drop the kids. You don't have time for the kids anymore. You don't pay maintenance anymore. You don't have time to just have those dates that you used to have with the kids anymore. Because now the time that you used to have with your kids, you must give it to your new woman. The new love is drunking you so much that you're neglecting even your kids. So that also is a big problem. If you're not going to be consistent with the kids, trust and believe it's not your baby mama that you are spiting. It is your kids. It is your kids that you are damaging. And tomorrow don't come back here and say, no, it's because of your mother. Your mother never wanted me to have a relationship with you. That is why things were like this. No, you found new love and your girlfriend said she doesn't want your kids, and you listened to her and you decided you are going to abandon your kids for your new love. You are on your own, my friend. You are on your own. When your kids are old, you will be the one that has to explain, or if they want nothing to do with you, don't be coming here and blaming your ex, or your ex has poisoned your kids. Okay? Sharp. Next one. Today I'm not even taking sides. This one is very, very smooth, and it's I'm not taking sides. Resolving matters in house. Resolving matters in house. Avoid resolving matters in house. I think I touched on it earlier on when I was saying that if you guys could not see reason when you were still together in a relationship, if you were struggling financially alone, you were a single mother while you were still married, what makes you think that once you break up with this person and you make all these in-house agreements and deals, this person is actually going to adhere to that? What makes you think that somebody who could not take care of your kids when you guys were together is now going to take care of your kids when you guys have broken up? This one has more to do with responsibility, especially when it comes to things like maintenance. Okay, but there's a video that I did in January. If you have not watched the video about maintenance, just the information about maintenance, please go watch that video. Also tonight we're going to be having a live again on that issue of maintenance, to say the do's and don'ts, the chronicles of maintenance, things that people need to know, and the works, right? But avoid making in-house deals with these people, because guys, what makes you think that somebody will stick to their word when you guys have broken up, when they couldn't even stick to their word when you guys were still together? So if you can involve the law in trying to set things up, it's better you do that, because when somebody says, I will give you 2,000 every month, then jiggy next month, I don't have, I had to go buy a new TV, so my money is short, I will give you 1.5. Tomorrow, no, I will give you 300. I will give you, no, don't do that, because you also have a life. Your life must not be affected by the fact that the other parent is not being responsible. So if you see that the person that you are having a baby with is not consistent in that regard, don't do this thing of sitting with them down and trying to make them see reason. If they fail to see reason when you guys were still dating, when you guys were still married, they're not gonna see reason when you guys have broken up. If your baby mama does not want you to see the kids, is being very difficult with you, what makes you think that you sitting down and trying to resolve this in-house, call your auntie, your uncle, sit down, let's talk about this as a family, what makes you think she's going to listen to them? She's not gonna listen to them because she's made up her mind. Involve the law. Go to the family court and say, I want access to my kids. This woman does not want me to have access with the kids. If that baby daddy is not paying maintenance, even if he says, hey, I will resign, I will this, I will that, go to the maintenance court. And I mean, the thing with women who always say that, I got tired of the maintenance court. Guys, you managed to stay in an abusive relationship and you tolerated abuse for the sake of what will people say for 10 years, but you can't do 2 years of running back and forth to the maintenance court for the sake of your kids. What happens when you die tomorrow? Eh? Do you have a plan B? So it's better for you to just say, listen, you know what, this one is my cross, I will carry. I'm going to go to that maintenance court. I will open, there will be a path from my house to the maintenance court. I'm going to walk this path every single day until I know that my kids get what is due to them. Okay? Because me trying to resolve issues with this guy in the house, oh no, I will do this, I will do that, me, I will take care of this. Anybody can change their mind any day. That's why you guys, your relationship came to an end, because people have changed their minds. Okay? So if you have it in black and white, if you have it there by the maintenance court, there by the child, what do you call this? Family court, then you know that you are safe. It's on record. Because now the problem with you having to do these in-house agreements is that when one person is not doing their part, you get frustrated, back to square one, the argument. It's gonna go back to you having to argue on things that you know that you're not even gonna resolve anything. And then now it's gonna go to that point where you now have to withhold the kids from that person. And then when you withhold the kids from them, now your kids are the ones who are suffering because they have a relationship with this person and they don't even understand this whole money issue, okay? You must sort out the money issue with the maintenance court. You must sort out the issue of access to the kids with the family court, and then avoid all the other stuff, right? Sharp. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We are moving. This is the last one, number five, last but not least, poisoning kids. Oh, Jehovah, poisoning kids. Now that your relationship has come to an end, your baby daddy is not paying maintenance. When you tell the kids, oh, your father is not anything, your father is not paying. Me now, guys, I sit on my things. I know it's not an easy thing, and I'm not even gonna try and act like I'm better than anybody who does that. But it's gonna come back and bite you. If you are gonna be one of those baby mamas that when you are sitting with your kids, you tell them, oh, your father ain't shit. Remember that tomorrow the father can come back with a story, and then your kids will turn around and they look at you as a mother who really did not want them to have a relationship with their father. And now you have to come and pick up the pieces of your own broken heart because you thought you were showing this guy, I will show him. Well, your kids will show you when they now have a relationship with the same man who made you suffer simply because you decided to involve your kids. You use the kids as a weapon to fight. You poison the kids and you told them, well, listen, your father is nothing. When they decide to grow up, when they grow up and they decide for themselves, oh no, actually, for me, my father is not nothing. My father is something. Then where will that leave you? Try by all means to avoid having to say anything bad about the other parent in front of the kids. Even though you don't like the way that they're parenting, even though they have hurt you, even though they've put you through stuff, leave the kids out of it. If it means you must go bite a pillow because the other person is making you go through stuff, go bite a pillow. Don't involve the kids. The kids will grow up. They will see for themselves whether they want to subscribe to that type of a parent or not. Otherwise, you will regret this thing of trying to poison the kids because tomorrow they will turn around and say, no, actually, no. Plus, when we used to spend a lot of time with you and you've been shouting every day and you've been doing this and we don't like you, we actually prefer the other person, you will die, my friend. So avoid that. So those are the 5 things that you need to avoid when you're trying to maneuver your way around this whole co-parenting thing for your own peace of mind. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and drop a comment down below on other topics that you would like us to talk about and what you think about this video. And if there are any other things that you feel like I've left out or that you feel like I need to address, you're more than welcome to leave a comment down below, and also binge watch on all the other videos that I've done on co-parenting and also on maintenance court and family court. All right, I love you so much. See you on the next one.